Today I'm going to show you a couple things that are important to understand about barn fires. This is an example of a gusset plate on a 2x4, and I just drove it in just like the manufacturers do when they build your barn joists or rafters. And you can see how far it goes, the metal goes into the wood. This is really typical construction for lightweight wood construction. But now I want to show you that's what it should look like. Now I'm going to show you what it looks like after a barn fire. Where's the wood? The wood's gone. The wood is totally burned out, or in this case, it was so hot that the gusset plates just dropped out of the wood. I've got a couple more examples here. Here's one where the gusset plate is still technically attached. You can see that the 2x6 that it was attached to, or the 2x8 perhaps, is totally burned away. And of course it's bent because then of course the joist failed. But if you see right here, you can see that these teeth are actually pulling out of the wood. And that's what it looks like during the actual event. This is another piece of the wood that was in this barn fire. It burns so very hot, it's just basically down to charcoal. It weighs nothing. And here's one more piece with a few nails in it, and this is actually the intersection of two joists. It's in the 2x4, so it's starting to pull out right here. You can actually see that I can pull it with my finger very easily. So these are great under every single condition except fire, and that's why it's important not to run down the interior aisle of a barn, because that's what it's going to look like. Lastly, I've got a couple examples here. This is some rings, maybe tie rings where horses had been tied. This is another kind of ring that was in this barn that originally had been up on the wall. Of course, all of the wood is gone now. And this is pieces of the concrete of that wall that was in that barn. And you can see clearly the spalling that has occurred on that piece of concrete. It's very hot, and it actually got into this first 1/4 inch of the concrete. And then, of course, it failed because it was extremely hot. This is another piece that's broken off of what used to be a concrete wall, and just complete spalling of the mortar and the concrete.